There is nothing that can compare to a good ghost story, and our globe is full of them. UFO sightings in Transylvania, murders on luxury cruise ships, and spirits strolling the halls of British castles are just a few examples. It doesn't matter where you go or what you do, you'll always be able to discover at least one location that's rumored to be haunted and a tour that goes along with it. But even if you're not into ghost hunting or other supernatural pursuits, you should still make the effort to visit some of the creepiest places in the world. This is because many of these places have stunning architecture, jaw-dropping locations, or fascinating histories. Here is a list of the top 10 most haunted locations in the world, which you should visit at some point. Number 10. Hoia-Baciu Forest, Romania. Since 1968, when a military technician took a photograph of a UFO floating over the woodland, Hoia-Baciu has earned a reputation all over the world in the realm of the paranormal, with some claiming that it is a portal that leads people to vanish. According to The Independent, people who have been through the forest without being transported to another dimension have reported experiencing rashes, nausea, and feelings of anxiousness as a result of their journey. The creepy mood in the forest, which is also known as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, is further contributed to by the strangely twisted trees that inhabit the area. Number 9. Located in Estes Park, Colorado's Stanley Hotel. Since its opening in 1909, the Stanley Hotel has been a popular destination for tourists thanks to its imposing Georgian architecture and world-famous whiskey bar. However, the hotel's notoriety skyrocketed after it served as the model for the fictional Overlook Hotel in Stephen King's novel The Shining. In addition to that unsettling relationship, numerous other ghost sightings as well as some unexplained piano music have been related to the hotel. The Stanley Hotel capitalizes on its notoriety by offering nightly ghost tours and psychic consultations from Madame Vera, who is located within the hotel. Number 8. Chuuk Lagoon, which is located in Micronesia. What could be more terrifying than a graveyard that's been haunted? Most likely, a cemetery that is submerged to a depth of 50 feet and is inhabited by ghosts. The Japanese Navy used what is now known as Chuuk Lagoon, it was once known as Chuuk Lagoon, in Micronesia as a fortified base during World War II. In 1944, American troops launched an airstrike that lasted for 3 days against this location. The Ghost Fleet of Chuuk Lagoon is the name given to the collection of sunken military vessels, aircraft, tanks, and railroad carriages that can still be found at the bottom of the lagoon. They were all lost during the battle that took place there. The ship graveyard is considered by POTI to be one of the top-ranked diving destinations on the planet due to the large number of scuba divers who visit the area. Exploration divers can get quite close to the wartime warships, which are said to be haunted by a few waterlogged spirits and are strewn with weaponry and gas masks. Some divers are superstitious and believe that the vessels are haunted. Number 7. St. George's Church, Czech Republic. St. George's Church, which is located approximately 200 kilometers, 125 miles, east of Prague, has a long and illustrious history. Other fires came close to destroying the building over several centuries, and in 1968, its roof partially caved in while it was being used for a burial service. As a result of that occurrence, the members of the congregation became convinced that the church was haunted and refused to enter. As a direct consequence of this, the structure was broken into by thieves and subjected to vandalism. All of that changed in the year 2012 when an art student at the University of West Bohemia came up with an idea to entice tourists back to the church. A group of 30 ghost statues sitting in the pews with their heads down. Number 6. The Castle of Edinburgh in Scotland. It is widely believed that the most haunted location in Scotland's capital city is also one of the city's most popular tourist destinations. Visitors to the medieval fortress's ancient dungeons have reported seeing colonial prisoners from the American Revolutionary War, French prisoners from the 7 Years' War, and even the spirit of a dog walking the castle's canine graveyard. Some of the dungeon's parts date back more than 900 years. Number 5. Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, located in Philadelphia. When it opened in 1829, the fortress, like Eastern State Penitentiary in Massachusetts, set a new standard for the use of solitary confinement. Prisoners lived alone, worked out alone, and ate alone. Whenever an inmate left his cell, a guard would cover his head with a hood so that he couldn't see or be seen by other prisoners. The jail was so overcrowded that it had to give up its solitary confinement system in 1913. Yet, the forms of punishment that were used did not get any less cruel, chaining an inmate's tongue to his wrists being one example, until the facility was finally shut down for good in 1970. Due to the success of both the museum and the Halloween activities held there each year, the location now draws in thousands of guests. Number 4. Isla de las Muñecas, Mexico. Even though it is recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site because it has so many well-preserved specimens of Aztec culture, the neighborhood of Xochimilco is most known on the internet for its Island of the Dolls. The location is well known for the hundreds of dolls and doll parts that are spread across the grass and trees at the spot, which is tucked away amid the many canals that run through the region. The Chinampa, which is analogous to an artificial island, was formerly the home of a guy named Julian Santa Barrera. Even though it might look more like a set from a horror movie, the Chinampa is quite real. According to National Geographic, Barrera began collecting and displaying the toys after discovering the body of a deceased girl in a nearby canal. He did this in the expectation that they would ward off evil spirits. Number 3. Al Madam, United Arab Emirates. There is something hauntingly lovely about abandoned towns, and Al Madam is not an exception to this rule. Jinn, who are shape-shifting spirits, are said to be responsible for driving inhabitants out of the community immediately after it was established in the 1970s and abandoned shortly thereafter, according to a local tradition. The village can be found around 65 kilometers, 40 miles, southeast of Dubai. Sand pouring through broken windows like waves and what appears to be an endless sea of ochre desert stretching in every direction give the impression that Al Madam is still haunted, even though no one is certain whether or not the ghosts have remained. Al Madam is comprised of 2 rows of houses and a mosque. Number 2. The Lighthouse of St. Augustine, in the state of Florida. More than 216,000 people visit the St. Augustine Lighthouse every year, but it is also famous for the supernatural visitors who have been known to appear there. It is believed that the supposed paranormal activity at the location stems from several tragic occurrences that took place at the now historic site. It has been reported that the apparition of a lighthouse keeper who perished after falling to his death while painting the tower can be seen wandering around the grounds. And ever since the tragic death of 3 young girls, who drowned when the cart they were playing in broke and fell into the ocean, guests have reported hearing the sounds of children playing in and around the lighthouse. The incident that caused their deaths occurred when the cart they were playing in broke and fell into the ocean. Number 1. Over Iceland. If you previously felt that Iceland had an otherworldly quality to it, just wait till you hear the story behind Over, the largest geothermal mud pool in the country, and you will be convinced of this. Ghana, a resident of this part of the Reykjanes Peninsula about 400 years ago, is the inspiration for the name of this region. Her ghost returned to the house after she had starved to death so that she could brutally murder the man who had been her landlord and his wife. The citizens of the town called upon a priest to help them with their ghost problem, and the priest ended up solving it by hurling Ghana into a pool of molten mud that was boiling at the time. How was the video? Do you enjoy it? Tell us in our comments section below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates.